Hi, everybody. Letina Russell here on Friday, a beautiful Friday in Melbourne, Australia. And I wanted to come to you today with something very special that I'm going to introduce to you. I feel very guided actually to bring to you a live 3-day immersion. And this is for awakening women and also men, largely women, who are learning how to live in their sacred hearts every single day and who are feeling the pull, the difficulties of being able to hold their light all day long in very difficult situations. Now, this is not just for awakening women. It is so that us as awakening women and men can hold the light, hold our light all day, every day, as much as we can, so that when we shine our light, we're giving permission for others to also recognize and begin to learn what it means to hold light, to live from their sacred heart. And of course, we know what kind of amazing ripple effects this creates across our beautiful planet. So this sacred 3-day immersion will be live and free and held on the 12th, the 13th and the 14th of May, 4 p.m. That's Friday the 12th, Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of May, Australian Eastern Standard Time at 4 p.m. We'll be going live into this very Facebook group through Zoom. So you can join us live watch us live in Facebook or join us through the Zoom link, which we'll give you. Now, I'm going to read my notes here so I can talk with you about what these 3 days is going to cover, so I don't miss anything. Day 1 will be that self-compassion. That's day 2. Day 1 is going to be the superpower effects of taking compassionate action. What happens when we, as awakening people, live with knowing we're living from our sacred hearts, which means that we will only ever be taking compassionate action. What this actually does and how this affects what our superpower is and how it helps us to know and live from our spiritual superpower every day. We'll also talk about the ripple effect of having our light switched on. So some of you might have heard me say before, when we are working with the Lemurian Unity invocations, we are beginning to hold a very, very special light. Now, over these 3 days, I'll introduce 2 of the Lemurian Unity invocations to you. And what the Pleiadians and the whales have told me is that when we are working with these or living with these in our energy fields, we are having our Pleiadian love light on. Now, the more of us that have our Pleiadian light switched on, this sends a very, very strong signal to our galactic parents, our galactic ancestors, our brothers and sisters, that we are ready and we are receiving them. And we really, really, we love them. We feel their love. We are reciprocating their love. And they'll be with us in a very different way. It's going to take a while, but it's beginning to happen, and it will continue to happen and become more and more frequent. So what it means when we have our light switched on is that we are giving permission for others to shine. So giving permission for ourselves to shine, showing up every day, which is not easy, but in our sacred hearts. But the more we do it, the better we get at it, the stronger we get at it. It's like it becomes natural to us. When we might leave our sacred space from home or even from our cars if we're traveling into the office, and we go somewhere where the environment there is just not conducive for us to be able to live from our sacred hearts all day. We get pulled. It's not easy to remember who you are at every single moment of the day. But that's what it means to be an awakening person who is in their mastery, living as in their 3D bodies, but with access to the divine every moment of every day. And that's what mastery is. That's how we learn to walk in our mastery. So when we live with our lights on, we give permission for others to begin to even know that they have light. They will see us taking different action. They will feel different in our presence. They will know that they are safe in our presence. They know that we will always be with integrity with them, that they can trust that if they give us something of theirs, if they share something very important to them, that they know we aren't going to share it around or, damage that very, very special gift they've given of their energy. So it's not easy again, but it is possible. And the more we do it, the better we get at it. And it is actually really needed right now. It's not just enough that we learn to stand in our own light. We also need to remember that this is impacting other people in a very, very positive way. So you're not just doing it for yourself. It is actually our job, and it's what we came here to do. So on this day, day one, I'll bring you a guided meditation that will take you into the sacred space of your heart, so you can learn to feel your sacred space, your sacred heart, and what it feels like to connect to that very, very beautiful space. And so you can go back there at any time in any day with just a few short breaths. Now, I work with my guides who are the whales, and I also have galactic helpers, our Pleiadian star mothers, my family, also your family. All of our guides will be coming into this space with us. We'll call everybody in. And my guides are the whales. They call themselves the Whale Unity Heart, which are an aspect of consciousness. They're a branch of all that is. They might even be just a branch of many streams of consciousness that are what we know to be the whales. And I will joyfully step aside because I live in trust and surrender to these beautiful beings who flow this meditation through me to you. So that will be day one. Day two, I've already said this, but self-compassion is the key. So the spiritual storytelling will be about why self-compassion is always the key, and how if we have compassion for ourselves and our own journeys, then we will be able to always have compassion for others. And, something very, very beautiful is that the whales have so much love and compassion for us. And they often say, if we could only have as much compassion for ourselves as they have for us, just imagine what kind of lives we would lead. Now, we'll also be talking on this day about why our superpower is always a spiritual superpower. So we are people, 3D bodies. We have 3D bodies. We're having a very human experience. People say it's very dense. That's just what it is, to be matter, living with matter. And when we try and control outcomes and create our lives from matter, affecting matter, it's always hard. And that's why sometimes the denseness just feels so, so heavy. Now, we are actually energy bodies. We are far more spirit than we are physical. And we are here having a physical experience. So our superpower is always going to be a spiritual superpower, because we've carried this from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. Now, we've also shared many, many, many lives together. Everybody here, even in this Facebook group, is coming together because we're being called to come together. Everybody who will come into this immersion with us has been called to come together into this immersion and join us in this sacred space, because at one point in our journeys, we've said, yes, we will do that. And so we're here now. So this spiritual superpower that's traveled with us from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, by hundreds, by thousands, is in our cellular memory. And this is what we call our soul gift, our Lemurian soul gift, which is here to be reawakened at this time. Now, it is a spiritual superpower because we are far more spirit than we are body, and our spirit has carried this through all of these lifetimes. So we are going to be receiving, and I'll lead you through a channeled guided meditation, again, channeled through me from the whale unity heart. And this time we're going to be introducing to you through a light language delivery offering called the Hakea Enopo. Now, the Hakea Enopo is a Lemurian unity invocation which talks about bringing everything into the very center of our hearts. Now, we are talking about everything from the left into the center, from the right into the center, which also, of course, is our sacred masculine, the divine feminine, the yang, the yin, everything we like, what we don't like, the loved, the unloved, the parts of us that we own, the parts of us that we've disowned, bringing them all into the center of our hearts with the Hakea Enopo. And in conjunction with that, we bring in the oceanic consciousness into our hearts, and we bring in all of the information from our galactic star lines into our hearts. That's our galactic heritage, our ancestral heritage that comes from the stars. We bring all of that into our heart space where it meets and where we can live from our balanced sacred heart. That is the Hakea Enopo, Lemurian unity invocation that we'll bring on day 2. Now, day 3, we'll go for a little bit longer. So day 1 and day 2 will be 1 hour each. Day 3 will be about 1.5 hours. Day 3 is about why we can only ever feel our way to our superpower. Why awakening our spiritual superpower can only ever be done when we feel our way there. We can't think our way there. It's not a brain thing. It's a heart thing, and it's an emotional body thing. It's a spiritual thing. We guide it there and we feel our way there, and we will just know it when it shows itself to us. And my inkling is that 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you already know what your spiritual superpower is. It's right under your nose. However, you haven't seen it in this light before, and you haven't thought about it like this. So you don't know what it is to shine your light and live in your sacred heart with this spiritual superpower of yours intact, and what it means to know it and to work with that power of yours from the sacred space of your heart. And why now is the time to live, love, and lead from your sacred heart space. So this is not about just speaking to the spiritual community anymore. It's far greater than that. And I'm very, very well aware that light language and woo-woo kind of stuff doesn't sit well with lots of people. So it's really important for us to show up as balanced women, men, and people, very balanced with our spirituality intact. And when we are balanced, and we are balanced when we're living from our heart and taking action from our heart, there's always going to be balance there. That's when we can really create great change. And we are creating the change. We're not just causing an effect, we are creating change from that space. And the time is now to do that and to spread it as far and wide as we possibly can, to see our light touching all aspects of the globe, all aspects of every different kind of business, all aspects of all people, whether they are rich or poor, black or white, whatever color, race, creed, religion. Everybody right now needs to know that light is light. It's like love is love, isn't it? It's just like that. Love is love. Light is light. No matter what badge people put on it, light is light. And it is our job to shine it as far as we can and to see it touching as many people as we possibly can in every corner of the globe, no matter what it is you do. Now, in big business, there's big changes that need to be made, and there's big opportunities for us to make those changes. So please hold it as your intent to shine this light into every nook and cranny, without going into the dark, because you don't need to do that. You don't need to be boastful. You don't need to be loud. You need to show up as a balanced person, knowing that from their sacred heart, they can lead clearly and affect massive changes from exactly where they stand. And that's all you need to do. If we all do that, great change will occur. So on this day, the meditation will be about the Arun Tai. Now, the Arun Tai is also a Lemurian unity invocation. And this invocation is about where our soul gift has been held for us to come back and locate it and bring it back to life, to rebirth it into this lifetime. Now, this can also be said that this is reawakening the new Lemuria, because awakening this Lemurian soul gift will be happening all across Gaia, every country. You think about Facebook and how far we can reach people, it's amazing. And anyone who's coming into connection with their Lemurian soul gift now is reawakening Lemuria. So we have spread far and wide, and where this means that we are shining our light in all corners of Gaia. So the Arun Tai has always held the essence of our soul gift until we were ready to find it and reawaken it and to birth it into our lives. And that time is now. Now, on this day, day 3, I have a very special guest called Karen Revivo. Now, Karen is a master healer, and she knows her craft inside out. I have been lucky enough to receive some of Karen's healings, and we have been lucky enough to exchange beautiful experiences together, some with the whales, and it was incredible to see what unfolded. Now, Karen will be here talking with you and me and sharing her experiences about what it means to be in the flow, to live from your sacred heart, to live with your light turned on, and to live in the flow, which is being called from all of us now. So I know that most of you here will have some kind of energy frequency healing going on in your lives. You don't need to work from that space. You don't need to have clients. You can be doing it for yourself. You can be writing. You can be doing readings for yourself. You can be healing yourself, your family, your loved ones. It might be astrology. It might be looking at the stars. It might be working with the seasons. It doesn't matter what it is. But all of you will know that at some point in time, you've probably had what you feel is a dark night of the soul before you re-emerge to feel that, hold on, I've come back out, but I can't feel what I used to feel. What's happened to my gift? Now, all that means is that the stream that carries all of the energies is moving so much faster than it used to. And we need to acclimate to that stream. Now, how fast or slow, or how quick or how not, or how quick or how much you don't go with the stream will equal how your body is feeling. So if your body is feeling achy and sore and you're not enjoying your life, it just is giving you an indication that the stream is asking you to go and you're not quite up to speed with the stream. And that's okay. That's really fine. That's what this 3-day immersion will help you to do. Because dropping into the sacred space of your heart, where it's clear and clean and not cluttered with anyone else's muck, you will float back up to the top like a cork bobbing up to the surface, and up you go into the stream, and it will take you. And Karen has had to do this, and she's going to join us live on the Sunday to talk about what it meant for her to acclimate to that new stream of consciousness and how her healing frequencies have changed and what it meant for her to allow that change. And that's what this is all about. It's really about allowing the change to take us and living in trust that we are beings that are here doing what we need to do, and it's all right. So I really hope that you feel the resonance of this for you now, and that it strikes a chord, and that you'll join us on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th of May at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's free. It's a 3-day immersion. All up, it'll be about 3.5 to 4 hours long. It'll be fully recorded for you to watch the replays in this Facebook group if you miss it. They'll be available for a short time for you. It'll be open to people who register on Eventbrite, and all the links and information will be coming into this group pretty soon. So stay tuned to find the details, and look forward to seeing you all there. Many blessings to you from Australia on this beautiful Friday, this autumn Friday, and I look forward to sharing this soul space with you very, very soon. Would love to hear your feedback, and yes, sending you many blessings and love for a beautiful day and a gorgeous weekend ahead. Mwah.